Daniel?
That's right, Craig. Good evening, Craig. Good evening to you at home. Adderall is used to treat ADHD. It's so addictive, users describe it as the pill form of methamphetamine. Psychotherapists tell me scheming parents bring their children in with prepared scripts citing verbatim symptoms, demanding doctors prescribe it. It's been a long road for Gina Washam.
It just took over. It took over my life.
Washam says a doctor prescribed her Adderall, a controlled substance designed for people with ADHD and attention deficit disorder.
I just had a hard time focusing because of my ADD.
And so she started taking the medicine first as prescribed.
I noticed that they gave me energy.
So she took more and more in between the prescribed times.
It just started escalating from there.
Sometimes, however, people will use it for other reasons.
Dr. Scott Hogan is a medical doctor who runs a psychiatric practice in Little Rock. He says many are introduced to Adderall in college to perform better on tests. Others take it to perform better at work.
They feel sometimes the pressure to compete and be more alert and aware at work.
But here lies the danger. Dr. Hogan says in Adderall, some of the same ingredients used to make methamphetamines, some of the most addictive drugs around.
They're extremely similar, very close.
It was pretty much like methamphetamine in a bottle.
And that's exactly where misuse would take Washam.
When I would run out of Adderall, I would start drug seeking other types of drugs, whether they were opiates.
Her addiction now calling for more than her prescription. Washam turns to buying the Adderall and other drugs on the street. Dr. Hogan says this is when the scheming to get more begins.
You can get online, unfortunately, and sometimes without a prescription, get Adderall shipped directly to your house.
The doctor says oftentimes parents come to his office claiming their kids are ADHD.
We get information from the teachers that are doing well, have straight A's, yet the parent insists that they have ADHD.
The parent trying to secure drugs for themselves, Dr. Hogan says, quote verbatim, the symptoms of ADHD. But he says it's the responsibility of doctors to look for the signs of abuse and keep strict records, tracking the frequency of prescriptions.
And if I have a parent that comes in that appears to be either under the influence or look like they demonstrate symptoms or signs of methamphetamine addiction or Adderall addiction,
he says they intervene even to the point of notifying authorities. Lisa K. Ray is a drug and alcohol counselor who runs her own counseling practice. She says oftentimes friends and family are the first to notice that something just isn't right.
There's going to be a strain on relationships. It just happens.
She says part of the addiction process involves deception.
Lying and sneaking around and doing things that are, at least against the rules, possibly against the law.
Ray says although addiction from Adderall or any drug is tough to shake, recovery is possible. And as of Tuesday, it's been 19 months since Washam touched a drug.
It was hard at first, but I went and got a lot of 12-step help.
She maintains she'll always be an addict, but she says just for today, she's a recovering addict. Instead of wanting to die, she wants to live and is excited about where this thing called life will take her. Now, Dr. Hogan says there are substitutes to Adderall that are non-narcotic, meaning they are not habit-forming. He says while they are effective, it depends greatly on the patient. Some react better to stimulants, while others to non-narcotic drugs. Craig.